So we are back in a place that we have not been for a couple months, although I have been playing it, and that is what I'm going to show to you today. So basically, back in December and early January, I toured this world, which you, hopefully, watched before this video, because it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense to watch the update video before the tour video, right? Nudge nudge, wink wink. And then, we also did a video in this thing, which is a pick a path minigame, which hopefully you've watched, nudge nudge, wink wink. But, today, you may notice that there are a couple of new things scattered around that may have not been there the last time you saw this world. So that's basically what I'm going to be showing you today. All the new stuff and stuff that I've changed since you were last in this world. And what a better place to start than my new and improved house. So, starting off from the outside, you may think, oh, it looks pretty much the same. But the main thing on the outside that's different is literally just this carpet. So this is my little porch patio area. I added a little carpet. But you're going to notice a huge difference as soon as I open these doors. However, so you can really understand the changes that have gone down, right now you're going to talk to future me, who's showing you an older version of my world with an older version of my house. So hello, it is future me from the future, and as promised, here is an older version of my 2-year plus creative world. As you can see, not everything has been built yet. There's some like beacons that have been removed, like that one over there in particular. Just everything's going to be slightly outdated. That's still there, which you're going to see shortly in the video that it's not. So, as promised, here is my old house that we can get a feel for the new house with a random hole down there. You can see there's no carpets here like I showed you before. And then I'm going to quickly take a tour of my old house. So that way when I do the new one, you understand the differences. So, hallway, empty. This room, the enchanting room, which we have like the enchantment table, brewing stand, the anvil and stuff. I'm trying really hard not to spoil what's in the new house, so if you hear me like stumble over my words, that's why. This is my bedroom. Of course, there's the outdated map. We have the sword on the wall still. We have chests that are no longer here. For some reason, we have Rose and Kent too in the bedroom, as well as the chewed up hat. Don't know why, but roll with it. I'm gonna go there last. This is my kitchen, which I am pretty sure is exactly the same, so I'm not going to spend too long in there. This room is completely gone now. So this was my living room. As you see, there's TV, there's the little couch, poster, and the jukebox. Obviously, we go downstairs, and you have this hallway right here. Which, side note, they just added the ability to build under bedrock. So I'm going to break down here real quick, and you see I have this spruce wood. I could build right there now. Before, it wouldn't let you. So, I built this whole house with the plan of having it downstairs, and now I'm kind of annoyed that they let you build below bedrock, because my whole world's kind of built around not being able to go below bedrock. Anyways, this is the little nature room that I had. There's Pickleberry the fox, Jerry the llama. There used to be a lot more Aries in here, but it looks like they probably died, even at this point in the world. And then, in here, we have a pretty empty room, as well as a fish tank area. Some teleports. This leads to my side house, which if you saw the last video, you know. And then this is going to be completely brand new to all of you. This is the world famous wall of doors. And the whole gimmick was, oh, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. Whole gimmick with this is that it's a wall of doors, so it's 2 doors on each side. But the main thing is that back here, there's like a little dungeon area, which, to be honest, I don't know why I built it, and I'm sorry my dog's barking. I'm just going to ignore that, and I hope you guys can too. But basically, this was a little prison area where I kept like a wandering trader that was like damaging my crops or whatever. By the time that I did the, closing my door, by the time that I made the tunnel system, which you saw in the last video, I got rid of this, which this was basically the prelude to the tunnel system. This was just tunnels leading to a couple of earlier buildings. It was one of the first things I ever built. Obviously, this leads to the ice cream shop. I'm really sorry about my dog. And then this leads to the doghouse. But that's a little tour of my old house, so let's get right to the new house so you can see all the differences. Alright, so now that you know what my old house looks like, it's time for the grand unveiling of my new house. Ta-da! A lot more details you can see. There's sign labels on the door, but the main thing that you're going to notice is this, there's bookshelves here, there's paintings to make it look more filled out, there's a bunch of flower pots, there's a barrel here with nothing in it, and going room by room, or first I'll show you this. This room, the garden is pretty much the same as when you last saw it, so there's no need to worry about that changing. I did add windows on the back, so before here and here did not have windows, it was just windows on the side. Now there are windows leading from my bedroom and the old living room into the garden. And I guess speaking of my bedroom, we'll go there first. It's pretty similar. It has the same color scheme, same sort of banners around the place. Now there's stuff like this anvil's new. Obviously, Blueberry's new, the parrot. There's painting, there's a little flower pot. That was there before. Enter chest, and then Freebird. Which, if you remember a small detail back in my original video, the reason that this bird's called Freebird, which is a silly name, I know. You guys remember the zoo, right? So this giant contraption over here. When I went there in the old video, there was a bird flying around that was the same bird as this one. And it was basically from when I built the parrot exhibit in the zoo, it managed to escape. And it kind of roamed around the world, kind of lingered in that area. So eventually I went back and tamed it, and now it's sitting in my bedroom. So that's new. Also, here's a lovely view of the town out my window as I sleep to make it day. I wanted to start this video in the night because the last time I opened the video was day. So to give you guys a little change of scenery, I did that. I guess we'll go here next. So oddly enough, I put the door here eventually, but I got rid of it because I didn't like it. But this room's basically the same. Pretty sure literally the only difference is that there are 2 new paintings on the wall. So not much to add there. Kitchen is identical to what it was last time. However, in these, also in the last video, you may notice that when I looked in the cabinets, it was a bunch of junk, and now I updated it so there's all food in here. So that is pretty cool, as it's raining and thunderstorming out. So let's quickly turn that off. Weather. I am playing on Xbox One, so of course it's going to be laggy. But you're going to notice in here there is a door leading to the living room, unlike what was in my bedroom and that room. And you're going to be like, wait a second, this room wasn't like this before. And that's because it wasn't. This used to be my living room. But because of the stairs, it was always a little awkward and disproportionate. And I tried a few things. Like I tried putting the TV on the wall so there was more room over here. So eventually what I decided is I was going to move the living room down there, which you'll see in a second. And turn this into kind of like the stairway room. So there's like bushes everywhere. I moved the map from my room because this map used to be on the wall of my room, which is why there's now a window in there because there's nothing in there. And on this room is the TV, so that's why there's now a window in here. Yeah, so I did some basic bookshelf decoration in here. I also expanded the stairs so they're much more comprehensive to use. And I guess I'll show you the hallway first. So same thing as what I did up here. This hallway before was just completely empty, but I added this painting and a couple bookshelves, as well as this, which this just leads to the path out here by King of the Ladder. This is obviously brand new. It's like, you know how in the houses they have those 2 giant cellar doors that lead to their basement? That's basically the equivalent of this in Minecraft. It was the best I could do anyway. And I tried adding stairs there for a little bit, but as I guess I can show you, it doesn't work quite that well because it gets in the way of everything. And this right here is my brand new living room, which actually I went in survival mode and picked up all these blocks with just a pickaxe to make sure that they were in fact the same blocks. I'm kind of weird like that. And moved the couch and the TV down here in that method. You can see the TV's obviously much bigger. It used to be a 4x4, now it's a 4x2 it looks like. And I obviously got like a new coffee table, and there's this whole brand new area down here. This sort of used to be my bedroom. Of course, a couple jukeboxes with a couple music discs. And then this room is probably going to be the biggest change. Because if you guys remember, this aesthetic right here, so the little grassing was what this area used to be. So you'd walk up here and there'd be the whole grass area in here. And now, the last surviving animal, sad as it is, was Pickleberry. So I gave him his own little area in here and decided to use that room for something else. This room looks completely different to you. Obviously, there used to be a rail going to my side house, but I figured that was pointless, as you could just walk to the side house now. And that house remains unchanged. As you might have saw in the original video, this room was obviously like this in the last tour I did, but before I did it like it's this creepy wall of door dungeon kind of room, so obviously I changed that before I did the last video, but before I finished the rest of my house. And then this room right here, where the railway and stuff used to be, is a bathroom, because everybody needs a bathroom. It looks like the shower's on. Basically, it's a button and dispenser that fires water. It's pretty cool. Obviously, if I could use the controller correctly, it would fire water, and then you suck it back up. There's this toilet over here, as well as a nice sink, and a couple paintings on the wall. Yeah, so that's it for my new house. Let's go move on to something else. So I actually wrote a list just to make sure I didn't miss anything this time. Because last time I did miss something, which I'm going to show you. It's something small, but it is something nonetheless. So, the first thing on the list is the new waterway I added. And you're like, new waterway? And that is this right here. And you're like, you might be thinking to yourself this was here before and I missed it, but no. So before, it was just this giant, like, 4x4 grass pathway all the way along. And I was like, I always wanted to do something there, but I knew nothing would fit. So I added this pond that goes all the way down, lily pads, sugarcane of various sizes. If you don't know how you do that, you just put string on top of the sugarcane. And from a distance, you can't even see the string, so it looks like it's just different heights of sugarcane. As well as lily pads and flowers. It just adds some spice to these earlier areas that I didn't really add much spice to. And then, of course, there's this giant waterfall on top of what is the ACU, which is unchanged as it was last time. So if you want to see that, go check out the old video, as well as any of these other buildings that are unchanged. I will not be showing them to you in this video, because they were in the last tour video. So yeah, and then, oh, sorry, I messed up on what I was going to say. First of all, I was going to say, so you see that the water goes down, drips down the side, and then goes under these little bridges here. So these are actually raised pathways. And you can see that this is all one giant, like, lake under here. And that continues all the way under there, which is cool. And I kind of wanted to add bridges here, too, so that kind of killed two birds with one stone, if you will. Alright, next up on the list, we have a bit of a fly to go. Now this is going to be almost unrecognizable to anybody who saw the first video. This is, believe it or not, Trident Toss. So I'm going to give it to old me, or I guess future me, in that same old world that was my house was in, to show you the old Trident Toss. Because this, like my house, you could tell it was still my house. This is basically unrecognizable. Hey, it's future me again. I know you missed me. In that whole 5 minutes I was gone, I know you missed me. But I once again promised to show you Trident Toss. And I'm back with a bark dog in the background, which I'm going to kill that little weasel in a minute. But, as promised, here is the old Trident Toss. As you can see, there's no, like, barricade around it. This one I have to be much less conscious about spoilers, because I kind of showed most of it off to you beforehand. Unlike my house, which I was like, I'm going to do it first, which was dumb, because then I can't talk about all the differences that were made, and my dog is going to die. But basically, the whole reason I changed this is that Trident Toss kind of has, like, the trident aspects of it, which obviously relate to the Prismarine. And I also thought it was kind of ugly just to have, like, wooden roller coasters everywhere, as well as just, like, surrounded by a fence. As well as there's, like, weird spots of glowstone everywhere. And, yeah, these houses are basically the same, but I kind of made it spruced up to where it would fit the trident and, like, underwater temple theme more. So here is the old Trident Toss, right here. You can see it's kind of messed up, even in the older version of my world. And right now, you're going to go back to the current Trident Toss, so enjoy that. So after that, even seeing like a quick glance, you could tell that the really only thing that stayed the same is these houses up front. And even then, it's changed drastically. So basically, I didn't like how this looked because it was a wooden fenced area and just like grass and then like bad wooden minecart rails. So obviously, I changed it, Trident Toss. There's still the aesthetic of gold and diamond. However, minecart chests are still 2 points. This is the new track. So look at that. With the laggy minecart in the back. But tell me which looks better after seeing the old one. You can see I kind of kept the old one in the back. Or the like, I don't know, I want to say seesaw one in the back. Because I felt that was kind of the most iconic thing about it. But then all the other ones are kind of different. So obviously, if this was a trident, I would try and throw it with the right trigger and try and hit the minecarts. But it works differently this time. So both players do not go at the same time. Basically, one person down here flips this switch, which opens it up, so I got rid of the timer and everything. And they stay down here for like a minute, I'm pretty sure. And then after the minute's up, they close it, and then the other person takes their turn. So the diamond player will take their turn, then whoever got the most points at the end would win. So it's much simpler to understand. Here's the diamond side. They should have the same interiors, as well as there's now a new method with a flaming sheep over there. That is sad. A new method of getting in. So you go in through here, this little nice spruce doorway, and then that's how you get inside. So I'll show you the. Ooh, that's a no. That could have been bad. So like, there's these hang ones from the ceiling. There's obviously this one back here. There's a bunch of just random minecarts sitting around. There's some behind walls. So you can see that, and there's my block of wood from earlier. Yeah, so this is the new Trident Toss, which I am very, very happy with how it turned out, because this was always one of the things that, I don't want to say was an eyesore, but I never loved it in my world. So I'm super glad at how it came out. And I guess I'll show you the outside too, because I never did that. So basically there's these half slabs going on different ones, and you can see the water in the inside. So you could look in here, and you could see the whole track like it's underwater, which is the whole aesthetic of the Prismarine temples and the tridents in general, so it fit really well. And while we're on the topic of throwing stuff, or I guess shooting stuff, if we look back here, this pretty big building back here, this is actually a archer range type building. So basically how it works is you actually start in here first, which the whole aesthetic of the game is green versus red. So obviously it's emerald versus redstone. I always like to do that gem stuff. So how it works is you see these giant redstone things in here. That's going to fire out one arrow at you. So each player is going to have one bow, and they need to collect either emeralds or redstone respectively. However, if you steal, so if the green player gets redstone, they get 2 points for it. And if the red player gets emeralds, they get 2 points for it. And there's also wild cards and diamonds, which are always worth 1 point, and amethysts, which always take away 2 points. So, and you're going to try and kill the other person to get their points. So it's kind of like a violent arrow shooting minigame. But to add a little bit more randomness and a little more fun to the game, in this dispenser right here, you can see there's 9 different arrows. So there's weakness, slow falling, slowness, regular arrow, invisibility, strength, leaping, night vision, and swiftness. So obviously you're going to want a bad one to shoot the opponent with. But you can also hope to get a good one, and that way you can kind of shoot yourself with it and get a buff like strength or swiftness. But then keep in mind, that is the only arrow you can use, so you will also be giving them strength or swiftness. And both players have the same arrows, so it is completely fair. But I guess I'll show you the actual course now, which if you enter through these iron doors, you can see there's a giant flower field and a chicken under there. And you can see there's these dispensers with the new target blocks, I'm pretty sure they're called, above them. And each one, like I said, there's a stack of redstone, stack of emerald, stack of diamond, and a stack of amethyst shards. I already explained what those did. So basically, 2 players are going to be running around here. Pretend I am the green player. I'm going to be running around here with my bow and whatever arrow I got, and I'm going to be shooting. Here, I guess I'll actually give you a demonstration. So give me a bow, right? I'll be trying to shoot that to get whatever item I got. But see, I got an amethyst shard, so I'm not going to want to get that one. So I'm going to try and get either redstone to get 2 points, emerald to get 1 point, or diamonds to get 1 point. And I'm sorry if this does not make any sense. I'm awful at explaining this. But I hope you get the gist of it. There's 3 layers to this game. So each player can run up here. Obviously, if you go up here, you're at risk of being shot because it's a very narrow pathway. So if the opponent is able to shoot you off and you fall and die, then you're at risk of losing all your points. Obviously, you slept in that room over there, so you have to make your way back over. So it's just whoever has the most points at the end wins. Not that hard to understand. I guess I'll show you around the little arena so you can get a better view of it. Obviously, there's an entrance on that side for the opposing team. And I guess I'll show you this thing, which is pretty big and honestly kind of in a weird place. So this is my new doghouse. And you're like, doghouse? Don't you already have a doghouse? If you watched the last video, you know that this little resort thing over here was in fact my doghouse. And I guess it still is to an extent. Except for now, all of the dogs are in a much comfier place. And it's raining again. Really. That is absurd. Yeah, so in here, you might remember this building. There's all the signs with the dogs' names on it and all the cats' names on it. This is unchanged from the last video. However, you might have noticed that all the dogs and all the cats are gone. As well as, you may have noticed that in the last one, some of my dogs had jobs, like Barry and Velvet worked at the zoo, and Death Rider all the way over there. You can just barely see it, worked in that house over there. So, when we go in here, and this admittedly little cramped area. You can see we have a bone and a fish on this side, a bone and a fish on this side. And you notice there's this giant like play area, this giant open field for them to run around, and you got these little lampposts with the little steel thing. In between each one's a painting and a little bench for everybody to sit down on. There's obviously I believe it's meat and fish dispenser, so for the dogs they can get infinite cooked pork chops and the fish can get infinite raw fish. Back here there's a little pool, again with a little bungee like there was at my pool, and then there's also a little doggy pool. Some of my dogs, like Matthew, who, if you didn't know, worked as a lifeguard, would really like it here. And each dog and cat has a little individual, uniquely designed room just made just for them. So I'll go quickly through them. You can see here's Blaze's room. Here is Cat 2's room. Melon Slice's room. You can see some melons and obviously theming in the carpet. Daisy's room. Grace's room. Velvet's room. Shadow's room. And Cookie's room, obviously with Cookie theming. And I guess we'll start at this end with Death Rider. Obviously my oldest dog, sitting there on his little weird, edgy dog bed. Sugar, which is a new accidental dog I got just before I made this. Basically, I fed two of them meat on accident, and they bred to make it dogs, and that's Sugar. Then we have Snowball in his very snow ice-themed room. Rose's room with obviously a rose in his room. Cosmo's room, which is based off the cosmos, which is the origin of his name. Matthew, who obviously has a little pool because he's the lifeguard when he's not relaxing here. Barry, pretty normal room for a pretty normal dog. We have Rainbow, who has a nice little fountain in his room. We have Fluffy Jr., both of which are modeled after the mini house, for those of you who don't know, where they used to work. If you watch the old video, the flower pot roller coaster where there's a model of my room, these rooms are actually modeled after that, fun fact. And then of course Summer, which is based off of like a summer resort kind of area. So those are little glimpses at all the rooms. I could go much more in depth about it, but I do value your time. So we are going to move on to the next building. So the one thing that I forgot to show you in the last video, and hold on while I throw away all this stuff. Basically, this stuff is from what I'm building right now, which you'll see me halfway through. Yeah, so if we go over here, all the way over here, past all these buildings, still don't like that building. I believe it's right here, yeah. So I never showed you this in the last video. So this is a giant meteor, and the way it was made is by end crystals. So when I was building Rainbow Town, which is a long time ago, I played around with end crystals in what was presumably really far away from everything at the time. I blew a giant hole, and I was like, oh, I'm so destructive, and I don't feel like repairing the hole. So I just made a giant netherrack meteor, put it in here, and it's kind of been here ever since. So all these holes around it, they aren't actually man-made. They're actually made by end crystals. So that's pretty cool. That is still unfinished, as one would expect. That's pretty much the same. Everything over here is basically the same. Yep. All right. So this is new, however. This right here, and with the giant trees, which is very cool. So basically, as you can see, this is a hedge mage surrounded by giant trees. And the way that these giant trees are made is by these trees right down here. So I kind of saw each of these blocks as a 3x3 block. And then I copied that exact design up here. So each of those little leaf blocks is a 3x3 block up here. And I created the oak tree, the birch tree, the jungle tree, and the spruce tree, which has their different types of planks up here, as well as a little viewing area, as well as, of course, I was going to say the maze, but I got to show you around the pathway first. So there's these lights around here. You go around on this little brick path, all the way around. It's very nice. You get a very nice view of the nothingness next to it. You go in here, which is the exit, and if I was brave, I would do the maze, but I'm absolutely not, so I'm not gonna. Basically, you make your way through the maze, and if you go on that side, you basically make it out there. If you go on this side, you get to make it into the little secret, super secret, hidden relaxation area. So either way is a win-win. However, I guess if you make it on this side, you do have to make your way all the way back around and go back through, which does suck. But at least you found the secret hidden area. So that is the brand new park, kind of a replacement for that Heart Park, which was my original park. You'll notice that as the years goes on, I kind of focus more on rebuilding old things that I could do better, except for not like getting rid of the old ones, just kind of building them again. And that is exactly what I did here. So I guess I'll show you, I believe, what's the first thing I built after the end of the last video, and that's this right here. So once again, similar to that river area, this was a kind of little nice space I had left, and I decided to build a ferry stand here. So this is a farm stand where you'd go up to the guys running it, you know, like you see at the fairs, and you're like, I would like 1 sweet berry, please. They go up here and they get their sweet berries, bad example, better example. And you can see the whole thing's like based off berries and glowberries, kind of McDonald's color schemes up here. There's a nice path that goes around the back and around here. And then of course there's a berry garden. And the berry garden grows both sweet berries, as you'd expect, which hurt you, as well as the new glowberries, which are growing on a thing that is also covered by sweet berries. And a funny story about this is one day I found a pig right here, which if I remember, there's a picture right here. And basically that pig I decided to save and build him a house over there. So you'll see that very shortly. And that was weird because I think it was a glitch because we're on Bedrock, which is like one of the glitchiest versions of the game ever made. But, I mean, I've always played it, so I've always liked it for that. So yeah, I saved him. Now he's over there and he has like 2 hit points left, so I gotta be very careful around him. And this right here is what I am currently building at the moment. So this is obviously what it looks like. This is a giant mountain pass. And the way it works is that there's 2 giant mountains. Obviously kind of ruin the aesthetic because there was a path initially going up here and then through here, which if I broke in here real quick, I'm sure you could still see some of it. Yep, like there's the original path in here. I'll show you a little bit more. I didn't expect it to go this far out, but mountains need to be big to look good. So it kind of splodged out like a real mountain would, which makes it look more realistic, but also kind of spreads out into more of my building area in the town that's already neatened out, but it's fine. I think it'll look good in the end. So how it's going to work is obviously this finished bridge. You'd go across it to cross the mountains, and underneath the bridge, which has a little underneath part, this blue netherwort block is only here because I didn't finish it. There's going to be a river here, so there's going to be a giant river going all the way through here. Then it's going to come all the way around here, and then it's going to be a giant lake behind this fishbowl, which I have to show you in a second. So that's the plan. If I do end up making another video one of these in December, because the plan is, like I did last Christmas, I'm going to make this a Christmas series where I just tour the world every year, and that's like my little tradition. So I'm going to do the full tour next year. So anything I build after this, as well as anything in this video, and as well as the original, will be toured again in the Christmas video. But the reason I'm doing this video now, is I'll do a bit of a tangent while I fly and show you some of the stuff in the world. So basically, I am game sharing this game with one of my friends, and they are going to not get Xbox Live anymore because this is filmed on the Xbox One. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to play in this world after they get rid of their Xbox Live because they're going to stop game sharing it. So if they don't, then I at least have this one video to show off what I've done and updated, so that way I can remember everything in case it all goes downhill at one point. Moving on from that, I'll just show you the fishbowl now. So the fishbowl is exactly what it sounds like. It is a fishbowl, which is supposed to look like it's on like a tiled kitchen floor with the black and white, or the quartz and the, I think it's snow actually, the snow and coal block. So you go up here, and this, once again, very intrusive, not planned out well pathway. You go up here, and it's the fishbowl. Obviously, as it sounds, you walk in here, and you're in a giant fishbowl. So you can see there's all these fish walking around. There's obviously a couple of coral designs around here. You can obviously swim up into here and swim around with the fishes for a bit if you really wanted to, as well as the fact that you can technically go at the top of the bowl, but the way you're supposed to get out is just by sinking right through the bottom. So you're supposed to go down here and then sink out the bottom of the bowl. And this is because, while I do have an aquarium in this world, it is not very good, and it is raining again. Oh my god. Excuse me for a moment. So, obviously the aquarium was one of the first things I built over here, as you probably already saw, but it is kind of bad. Just showing you the ice river, you can see it's like 3 rooms, and like everything's despawned. So having a fishbowl where you can actually see the fish, and it's new, so it looks better, It's always fun. And speaking of which, there's a little glance up for what's to come. But right here is where I decided to build that little pig's house. So I decided to build it like a little unique brick farmhouse kind of thing. You can see he's got a little garden with, there he is. Hello. See, he has literally one heart from that berry experience, and he's Benny. Good old Benny. I definitely didn't forget what I named him. You see we got coarse dirt to make it look like dirt that the pig has to roll around in. There's obviously the food that he gets, like the wheat, carrots, apples, and hay bales. There's this giant hay bale stack in the corner. There's an automatic with quotation marks, carrot farm up here that dispenses carrots into here where he can eat it straight up. And then there's obviously his little drinking water down here, which it looks like he's Pig Jesus and just walks right over him. And there's this little bed down there with little sweet berries. Remember, of course, where I found them, the sweet berries. So yeah. And I'm sure what you were very interested in the whole time is that little glance I gave you up. And you're like, what could that be? Obviously blocked by the sun. There we go. That makes it a little bit better. And this is inspired by the house by up. So obviously it is a house that is flying because of balloons. So as you can see right here, it is just a normal house that is supposedly being lifted by balloons. Just like that. So you go on the balcony, just like in Up, and you can see there's a little TV in here. I don't know how he's getting signal. A little couch where you can look out at the horrifying view. Can you imagine if you were in your house, you looked out the window and you just saw that? Of how high up you were? That would be honestly terrifying. Then of course nothing's built over there yet. Go up these little stairs, and you can see there's a nice axolotl on the bucket, as well as the little bedroom area. And obviously, from here, you get an excellent view of the town. Although the render distance on Xbox isn't great, so it's not a great view of the town. But alas, it is pretty good. Alright, now we're in the home stretch. I'm going to quickly fall right into the water, hopefully. Thank you, that would have broken my ankles, if this was realistic at all. And you're going to notice that there's a new pathway now around the whole campsite / boat race area that I showed you in the last video. These trees were extended out to make the pathway look even. That's just random holes in the middle of it. All of them have. And basically, the plan for this area is this is going to be my city-like area. So you may remember this. This is where the little prison area kind of escapes to. It was blocked off by the Strider house, I'm pretty sure, as you may remember. So I'm going to do like all kind of different styles of houses along here. I'll show you that in a second. So I started, and obviously since I'm not a good builder, you can tell this is not mine. It is one of the ones I found online by searching up cool modern house designs for Minecraft, and that's kind of what I'm going to do for most of the houses along the street, because it's just going to be like a normal city kind of area. But you walk in here, and I'm sure you could find it on YouTube. It had like 1 million views or something, so it can't be that unpopular. So I'm not taking any credit for this. This is not my design. It's ripped block by block from somebody else. So if you really like this design, look up Modern House Minecraft on YouTube, and you'll probably find it. I do feel a little bit bad for ripping them off, but it does look really nice. So, and oh no, it looks like there was a bit of a massacre here. So we're just gonna run away and take no blame in that. And this over here, since you know this whole area is kind of like a little woodsy area, you might actually be able to see it from around here. Yeah, this is the lumber shop. So basically, if you don't know what a lumber shop does, it cuts down wood. And there's a little desert theming. I was gonna put actual cactus there, but then the little fence posts don't work. You go inside, and you can get all your different types of wood if you really wanted to. You can see there's a nice red and brown carpet, kind of the wood you would expect, or kind of the color you would expect from a lumber shop. You got the nice like rock flooring. You got the nice couple axes, the lumber gear that you'd use to cut down axes again. Here's your little oak and birch log cash register, and then of course all your types of wood: oak, warped spruce, birch, crimson, jungle, and acacia. And obviously it's supposed to look like there's an axe in there, because that's usually what they do at the lumber shops, as they have the wood with like axes already in them. See, there's just some nice detail around this building. I'll show you around, which I realize I haven't done for many of these buildings, but I'm sure you get the gist of them just by me showing you them. Obviously this path now loops back up to here, which if you don't remember is Capture the Wool 2, which now that I figured out that you can actually have cross-platform people playing in this world, I actually have friends on that I've played this with, and it is actually a lot of fun. Because in the last video, if you remember, I said I don't have anybody to play this with, so it's kind of pointless. I played it, and it was a lot of fun, actually. So it leads to that like rural area right here, and this leads back to the actual pathway itself. Which brings us to, I believe, the end of our tour, because we only have 2 things left to show you. So if we head over here, that giant patch of flowers for some reason, I'm going to expand the water park a little bit more, but I have not added actually any new rides yet. And obviously this is my side house, and you might notice one thing very different when I look out this little room right here. And you're like, wasn't there something ugly right here that I said I hated in the last video? Yeah, there was. So this is a little... I started destroying it. I was like, maybe I should keep a little bit. So this is government-connected property. Wow. Government-protected property. And as you can see, it's the original roller coaster, but like there's a little bit of it left, and it's obviously government protected, so this can't be removed. And then I also made up a little story in here about how it closed. So April 3rd, 2022, unfortunately, this attraction was closed due to health concerns and being extremely boring. That was my little reason for tearing it down right there. And then we thank you for your support and expect to see it again in the future. Yours truly, name withheld. And the reason I said we thank you for your support and expect to see us again in the future is that, not as a roller coaster, but the idea of every block being one thing is going to be built again in basically kind of like another museum kind of thing, where there's like a sign descripting what the block is and then every single block in the world. It's going to be very big, so I haven't started it yet, but little future reminder, you might see it in December, you never know. And then, very sad, but I believe this is the final thing I've left to show you, and that is the pumpkin. And you're like, the pumpkin? I could have sworn that you had already shown us the pumpkin. And wow, okay. I could have sworn that you had already shown us the pumpkin. And I did, you're right. But when I showed it to you, it wasn't finished, because I said, this is what I was building during Halloween time, or December, I guess. So I was a little late, which was when the last video was filmed. And so, it's now completely done. I am going to take a night vision potion. Let me go ahead and grab one from Creative real quick. There we go. Just so I can show you around here. Obviously, if you were playing this game for real, you would not have night vision on. But you walk in here, come out here, and you see there's a bunch of different places to run. So obviously it's all overgrown, and basically one person's running from the other person, while the other person tries to kill him. Whoever survives the longest wins. So, like, however many players can play, because they're all gonna have to take their turn as the killer anyway. So you got this abandoned jail cell. There's obviously a couple hiding spots like right here, except for there's faulty walls, so they can always sneak up on you. You can climb up here, so there's a couple hidden spots like that. Obviously back here, there's a way to get back here in the little cactus field, so you gotta be careful, because obviously you'll be taking damage if you're not, as well as the seeker can see you if they look out the window while you're sneaking around. So if you wanted to go to these underground tunnels and sneak around, you'd have to be very careful about it. And then if we fly up here, you can obviously hide in the treetops. There's a nice little area to get up here with a bunch of holes in it, because obviously it's going to be pitch black. So you got to be on your toes. You can sneak around here. And if you go on top of the little spawn area, either by this, or I believe there's a vine up here that can take you. You can hide up inside of the little house with a couple bat friends. And this is kind of like the inner workings of the thing. So like, everything here is designed to look good from the inside, but not from the outside. Just a little hole, you can get stuck in there. So, yeah, but obviously it's very simple to understand once you get through it. And this is easily the most confusing part, is right here there's a hedge mage. And this hedge mage is 3 stories, and one of them leads you into the house on the 2nd story. And then on the 1st story, leads you into here, which is a castle area. There's obviously this little area back here, which if you look, there's like hiding spots right here. Stupid night vision's running out again. Thank you. And there's obviously parkour to get up here, back into the treetops, and the treetops can get back in here if they needed to. That is a way to get out of the tunnels, because there are booby traps down there that send you back up. There's a little hidden area back here, which one time when I played it with my brother was where he hid, very cleverly. So I'm pretty sure how he got in here was he went through here, and then through there, which is very nice. There's obviously a little hidden sneaky trapdoor in case you're silly and don't see it. And then, of course, the last thing I have to show you in here is the house, of course. So I'm going to see if I can make through my own maze. Up the ladder. There we go. And it should be over here. Nope, that's a fake out. Ugh, I hate mazes. That's why I didn't do the other maze for you guys. Oh, that is not supposed to be there. So hold on. Un memento. I guess the Tor did one thing. It showed me that there's a hole in my game, and I need to fix that. Is it 3rd floor? I don't remember. I'm honestly getting lost in my own maze, and it looks like I messed up again here. But you know, that kind of works a little bit. I'm gonna leave that there. Going through here. Is back here? Man, I really didn't want to get into the house. Yep, here's the house. All right, going here. And this is kind of modeled after my real house in this game, but it's a little different as well. So it's very confusing. Like, you're gonna fall down pits. You're gonna go up here. Then you're gonna get lost. There's a door up here that leads to this in a room with no thing. And then, since this area is kind of hard to get to, if the secret at all looks in here while you're running back, they know exactly where you are. And there is no getting out of here once you get in. So it's kind of a commitment that if you're willing to take, probably might win if you stand out, if you don't get caught for the longest time and they have to look for you and have to climb all the way out here. And since it's my world and I don't know how to get out of here, I'm gonna quickly break out and fix this up real quick. There we go. That is the complete wrong way. I need obsidian actually, so if I could find obsidian real quick. I'm very excited for the frog update coming. I might play through the frog update on the channel if you guys want it enough. Oh, look at that! It's all night vision pretty. Just in case this is the last time I ever go in this world, I'm gonna show you around again real quick. So at the end of the last video, if you remember, I showed you around the whole world real quick. So there's obviously that building back there. Then there's all these buildings over here, which some of... Oh! I guess I should tell you about this, shouldn't I? Alright. So I almost did forget something. This is what I'm going to be building next. So I actually started building it before the mountain pass, realized I wanted to do the mountain pass instead. Kind of abandoned it for now. But this is going to be a little tea shop. So it's going to be my specialty. You get it? That's the whole pun behind the thing. It's going to be a very, very fine establishment for the fancy British people or anybody who enjoys tea. It's going to be very, very fancy and modern, which kind of reflects the little coffee thing over here. But obviously this is more like jungly and like, I don't want to say modern, but it's going to be like definitely a different aesthetic than what the tea shop's going to be. So that's why this is here. Also, I just had this extra room, as well as that, which there are a lot of extra places that I have left to build. So I'm very, very excited to continue this world. Sorry I was shaking the controller like that. I just realized it was going like this. So if that was bothering you in the video, I do apologize. So anyways, that is the end of another video inside of this world. I don't know if you guys enjoy these videos or not, because they get like the same amount of views as any other video. But I really enjoy making them and showing off my hard work to you guys. So I just hope that you guys find some enjoyment in this. And if not, don't worry. There's definitely a lot of other videos coming. Or you can just watch somebody else's who's probably more interesting and better at their job than me. But, alas, if you want to stick around, feel free. There's a lot more videos coming, including some in this world, or Minecraft videos in general. Thank you very much for watching. I love all of you who are watching my videos. You are all great people. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. So, future me is back, and I know I just said I ended the video, but actually, I lied, because in between the filming and filming of the last video and when I did the future me segments, which is right when I'm doing this segment, so hi, future me again, I actually built more of the mountain pass kind of area, which I said I was in the process of building. So I just wanted to give you a quick little view at that. You can see I actually built the river and the little pond. I added some trees, and of course this one has all the grass and bamboo on it already. So just based on this, you could probably get an idea of my vision for what I'm going for with this. So instead of just having 2 mountain passes, I'm going to end the video with you seeing basically 90% complete. I just need like more flowers. I'm going to do some benches up here. Yeah, so I'm going to end it with 90% complete mountain pass. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video, hopefully. So thanks for watching.